On a hot summer day, Pete and his friend Billy decided to buy watermelon. The scale showed W kilos. Pete and Billy are great fans of even number, and that's why they want to divide the watermelon in such a way that two of the parts weighs even number of kilos. At the same time, it's not obligatory that the parts are equal. The boys are extremely tired and want to start irrelevant, but for sure, each of them should get a part of the positive weight, so it cannot be zero. Now, so the input statement we have is like W for watermelon, or weight of the watermelon, and it must be greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to 100. And we print out yes if the input matches the problem statement and no if it doesn't. So let's go to my text editor where I've made the problem statement a bit simpler to understand. So the watermelon equals W kilo, Pete and Billy like even numbers. That's why they wanna split the watermelon in even pieces. Pieces may or may not be equal, but they have to be non-zero. So we divide the watermelon. For example, if watermelon size equals 2, division after each piece will be equal but not be even, so we return false. Similarly, um, if the input is 6, one might think that since 6 divided by 2 equals 3, and 3 modulo 2 is not 0, but we're told that it doesn't have to be equal, just even. So let me just quickly insert my value in this. Yeah, yeah. So we can divide 6 into 4 comma 2 or 2 comma 4 valid partition, since both 4 comma 2, both of them are even and non-zero positive numbers, so they satisfy our condition. Now, um, for example, if similarly in this, if weight is 8, we can split them in this valid partitions. Now we need to check for edge cases. uh, I wish I typed faster, but well, yeah, so we must make sure that W minus 2 modulo 2 equals 0, and W minus 2 is greater than 0. Now why? Because even in the most weirdest case, we will still have one even partition. Am I making sense? For example, if we'll take 2 and 2 minus 2 equals 0, which would pass this modulo 2 equals 0, which is like 0 mod 2 equals 0, so it passes that, but it must be, but our second condition checks that 2 minus 2 will not be greater than 0, it will equal to 0, so it will fail, and we'll get the correct answer. Yeah. Okay, and mm, okay, so let's code our algorithm up. So first we're gonna int the variable, declare the variable w, and then we're gonna use scanf. You can also use cout. It doesn't, sorry, cin. It doesn't really matter. I'm using scanf for lower latency, but you can use std in as well. In case you did, making sure you're having this correct syntax. Yeah. So okay, Vim is being weird. Uh, Now we start our algorithm. But if w minus 2 modulo 2 equals 0 and w minus 2 greater than 0, we print yes. Okay, let me just fix this bracket, and yeah, print yes. Now one thing to make sure is have the output format the same as is specified in the problem statement. You can also use std out as well here, but I've used printf because of lower latency, as I've declared earlier. That using C functions actually improve performance of your algorithm. But it's alright if you don't know it. They can be a bit intimidating at first, but you could get used to them as well. So yeah, no. Okay. Sometimes what has happened to me is I would just print yes, but they will not be capitalized, and I'll get an error because I didn't have the exact format that they requested me for. So that's one thing to take care of. The best practice would be to just copy paste their specified output and just hard code that here. So I'm going to save my file, and I've already run this many times, so I'm not going to type it again. You can specify which version of C++ you're using. And yeah, we're going to do some test cases. Let's see, 8 passed. Let's see, 69 doesn't pass, and 420 it passed. So Yeah, guess I'm gonna submit now.